Everything should be set up nicely. Alright, it's versus BBP. Alright. And don't mind me, I'm just trying to make sure I remember what the hotkeys are. Okay. Alright. Well, what was round start? Was that a... Oh, dash back. Shot. Okay. Caught falling down. Yep. So, I don't know how much you've played BBP, Ezzy, but this is a very aggressive Valentine who looks to catch you out with weird bypass timings, etc. So, with that in mind, be pretty conservative with how you use your somewhat high commitment options when the Valet's already in the air. Okay, yeah. PvP is a player. I got him looking. Is he using Forest Assist with? No, we already saw Butchers. Oh, that's a mistake. Unfortunate. Yep. This is what happens if you use Silver Core twice in the combo. I don't know if you lost track or if you were trying to knowledge check him, but BBP mashes, and you will get caught out for stuff like that. But I will try and look at this from fresh eyes, and hopefully see you adapt to how he plays over time. Pretty late push blocks. That works. It's a smart time to Daisy. Did we get caught land cancelled? Yeah. This mix. Alright. What's your band doing? A lot of jumping. Thankfully, he is just giving you a lot of screens. Clips. Yep. That's one thing you need to be thinking about with Eliza. I mean, with a lot of characters. If you're going to punish the assist, really think about how much space they can close quickly, and if you actually have time to commit. Because jump medium kick is a button that exists, and it comes out pretty dang quick. We've been corralled back into the corner, air thrown. Mix, you're dead. Okay. Yeah, BB play is certainly a player that exists. Playing him is an experience.
Time for your physical.
Beat 'em up, guys.
Okay. So we got caught with the bypass once. We're not thrown, we just eat that. Not bursting. I hate that so much. Good blocks, but so we just didn't push block the first at all, did we? No. And then we push blocked the wrong hit the second time. So yeah. I think there's just not being used to dealing with that sort of valve pressure. Things to be thinking about, keeping in the back of our minds. Let's see if we... Okay, air throw. Good blocks. Chicken blocked it. Very brave to press a button, but not a bad idea. Triple blade kick. The goat. Get L-bombered. Okay. A lot of patience coming out. BBP went cross up, jump heavy punch to try and open us up in neutral like 5 times. This won't work. Yeah. struggling to get this man off of us. Counter hit pressing something. You get a punish there. At the very least, it's your turn, but I swear you get a punish there. So, I know you're afraid of everything, but everything Band does at full screen, like, people want to call it rock, paper, scissors, but it's entirely reactable. They do not have to jump until they see A-Train. Or until they see Giant Step, sorry. So being full screen is almost... You feel safe, but you're actually just dooming yourself as Band. It's... Yeah, it's... I mean, that situation is not going to be fun to play, period, but Band needs to be choking off space if he's actually accomplishing anything. Forward jump light punch. Spiral flare. I like the jab attempt, unfortunately. Definitely a little too high for that. Good blocks. Good blocks, good push block. Contesting for space. Now we're zoning again. We're doing it patiently, kind of waiting to see what's going on. Okay. Unfortunate drop. I really would want to actually be seeing more push blocks from you. You're holding a lot. Corner mix. Baiting the mash. I think you could have just pressed on that monster because you weren't actually blocking the bypass yet. No confirm because of the range. Okay, it looks... Can't tell if we're just really not comfortable in mid-screen or we're really afraid of Butchers 24/7. Bro, but we throw them out of the corner. Into... Oh no. No what? No DHC into Espia? Not getting our charge. There we go. Yeah. Run up low. Aggressive. You have the corner. How are you gonna keep him here? Jump light kick wall. Let him out. Okay. It's not gonna say it's something you really should like be consistently reacting towards, but one thing I kind of want you to be... Oh, I'm trying to pause it like a silly YouTube video. When you're squiggly, you're looking for very specific things that you know if they commit to them, if you have Sing Charge, they can't get out of. So, for instance, when I saw what happened a little bit ago, where she air dashed over your head out of the corner, and air dash is one of those things where you're looking for, where you see the startup and you go, gotcha, and then you Sing and SBO on them, whether it's right above your head or... whether it's light kick, heavy kick, or medium kick, heavy kick, depending on the situation, etc. And that's more. That is how you start getting a lot of mileage out of Squiggly being Squiggly. It's yeah. Mixed to death, unfortunate. Bella's dead. Okay, let's... So M-Shot. Calling a mid-screen pressure assist from full screen is never really gonna do much for you. Block this. Yeah, Bomber is so obnoxious. I hate O Bomber, man. I'm assuming that was supposed to be some form of jumping life kick, and we just got charged. I like this on every punch. Unfortunate. I canceled the 2 medium punch a little early. Getting her out of here. That, yeah. Wild. Got low. Hit by the delayed same side mid. Interesting. Yeah, once again, BBP mashes a lot. And we're still not seeing any major callouts for that yet. Avery really just said no. The rock glide neutral. Are we just misinputting Timpani? Because that's the second time I've seen Bam just counter hit off a dropped combo. Bishop jab, do we take the corner? Black guy. Do you go for a kill? Okay. New band, got it. Understood. I will warn you to be careful when doing stuff like this versus Eliza, because Cot just catches you out. What is... Is the replay desynced? Okay. I've had someone send me replays before that started desyncing, and I just wanted to make sure. Actually, before we start, oh, what was I gonna check? What the heck was I gonna check? I forget. Heck. Yeah. Gotta be careful about shots. I can respect the pillar. I probably would have done it too. Mashed on again. So what's been happening here is kind of... BVP has been allowed to keep mashing because it keeps working. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Wait, no, we didn't just snap! Oh no... A little too antsy with the punch charge. I got baited out pretty easily by BVP. One thing I also will say is you are giving the assists a lot of respect. Oh no, we didn't get the punish on that. I would try and start throwing BBP when the Butchers is behind him or the Bomber is behind him, because I have a suspicion that would work. And you yourself are falling for a lot of first base as well. First. Dead. Yeah. I'm trying to think about how you're zoning compared to how I'm zoning, and
Time for your physical.
Let's do this in one take. Action.
yeah. Paul says DP assists, we get mixed. Good match. Version. So, I will say, after this is more for IPS than scaling, because Pillar Bikes is already incredibly scaled. If you are close enough to get to your launcher, rather than having to go all the way through to stand heavy punch to still confirm, light kick, if you want to be safe, light kick ×2, crouch heavy punch. And it saves your medium kick for a landing strip that it's oftentimes most needed for. 6 MP, 2 HP also works, yes. There are a couple different ways, but the way you went about it, doing this, one, especially because medium kick works the way it does, she's incredibly high and it's really awkward to combo, because parasol combos kind of suck sometimes. But other than that, even if you did the delays, what should call it? You don't have IPS for much more afterwards. Neutral. You still win. Good mix. That's rude. Well, they might be able to press a button falling down. No confirm. Not like this. And opened up. Okay. Oh no! Oh, you said it was a new band. It's fine. Ideally, there you hit the assist and get the mid screen assist kill, but yeah. I feel you as someone who's kind of just been trying to learn more of the cast. That's so unfortunate. I hate playing band neutral so much. That was weird. You got the assist. Hey, you got the point too. Let's go. Didn't get the button out fast enough. I feel that. Dead. Clyde won there because the SSJ was active for long enough for it to lose its invuln. So it still had armor, but Clyde's a sweep. So it lost. Job. But even bomber corrected right there. Okay. Getting caught out being a little too aggressive ourselves. Good job. Good blocks, good blocks. Yeah, I couldn't quite. And so, like, in a situation where you're stuck like this, especially if you're pushing him off of you, and you notice he's just air dashing back in, it's definitely scary to do it sometimes, but sometimes you just gotta throw in a pillar there and say, nah, you're not allowed to keep doing this. I think Valentine goes over your jib there if you try and do that, which is really unfortunate, but yeah. Definitely not a fun spot to be in. What an air throw. Good blocks. Snap. No. We're not recognizing these snap opportunities. And we overextended on the assist. That super does a fair ballast of damage. Back to Eliza. Yeah. Repeat. Next. Too afraid to throw. Full send it. Not quite the dead character. Good no burst. Hit by the same side mid. Thought it was gonna be cross up. That was uber dead. All like dead characters in a pile. Block, good block. Overextending a little bit. Good punish. Oh no! As you're opening, you cannot land on L bomber like that. What? I was about to say, I would like to see a bit more throws, especially air throws. and immediately it works out. Yep. You cannot be doing mash like that on PvP because he, or not mash, mix, because he is mashing. Well, that is just truly unfortunate. I cannot imagine that's what you wanted. Didn't get the up forward. Unfortunate. Almost had it though. Yeah. Hold the mix. Yep. You're gonna die, you would lose the car anyway. Okay, we gotta work on our push block timing a little bit. Double should not be able to stick on you like that. And then self-record in neutral. That's exactly what happens when you can self-record neutral. You explode. Oh, I really like the idea behind the stun heavy punch. Unfortunately timed. You hold that, you know. Up forward jump light punch. Do we see a burst bait? No. And they got counter hit. You were getting mashed on and just got lucky. No! Okay, so here, in that situation, if you recognize... I went not far back enough. If you recognize you've gone here and gone too far into stand heavy punch, you need to go into Quake, and then you either sniper, which can get them both, or you can sniper DHC, do anything after that, or you can level 3. All which work after Quake. And Quake lets you extend, have more time to make your decision. It might be a little bit more damage. I can't tell you for certain. But if you go here, you are not shooting. You are using Quake. And that is something you kind of really need to start getting ingrained. This is a big opportunity that ends up going nowhere because you're not recognizing the situation fast enough. And especially because you're so close to the corner and one character's about to die, Quake into level 3 kills the Valentine and then you just get the double snap on the double, etc. Yeah. Because so many times, L-Shot will only hit one of the characters. Quake is just so much better. The ideal thing is to recognize and go into a launcher immediately, but that is hard. I will not pretend like that is not hard. Also, you could have level 3'd this on reaction. It would be tight, but you had time to. And level 3 has enough invuln to answer card. Oh, not quite. Bum, bum, pop. Oh, weird route. Launcher? No, you did. Delay. Okay. Oh, I thought we didn't have OTG. Oh, you scared me. Yeah. I will always delay that jump heaven punch. Even the first time, because God, I've had that opportunity burned so many times by getting a little too antsy.
Tisk, tisk. It looks like
Good
we
work.
have to
Good recognition.
Ladies and gentlemen, showtime!
Good. Oh, that was beautiful. That wasn't. Unfortunate. Not getting their bikes again. Although I'm pretty sure Valve there would have own the bikes. PBGC raw tag. Are you... What? Okay, BBP is a psychopath. We're really afraid of the skeleton. Especially if you think your character's gonna die anyway, you might as well try and go down swinging. So throwing out a sweep is kind of slow. The other thing you can do is dash up throw. Being too afraid in that situation is literally only gonna get your parasol killed because you're just gonna chip out anyway. Yeah, but you died to chip. It's not a can you block this, it's a you're gonna die to chip because you can't get away from the skeleton fast enough. That is my thought process when I say. Oh, why did he push block there? That was a punish. Okay. Rock Clyde punishes the jump heavy kick.
This is true love we're making. Action!
I do like these land cancel jabs. Starting to see more towards the end of the set. No burst bait. So like, oh my god, he did it again. Now I see why you said he does that. Bomber doing bomber things. I was getting a little too afraid again. So, I'm like 90% certain at this range, your snap will still hit. Parasol snap is pretty long. It might just barely be outspaced, but you can also threaten to sweep. If you notice they're doing a lot of this jump stuff, dash jump air throw, this might be on the borderline of the range. Parasol snap hits pretty far. But there are a lot of ways to deal with Eliza, and again, the second you let Sekhmet get in your head and make you too afraid is when Sekhmet's just won the game for her. Because, look at this, you're kind of just sitting here helpless. It's a scary skeleton, but you gotta learn to disrespect it sometimes. Especially because she can't tech throws. It's just... You really gotta look for habits and then start trying to abuse them. Yeah. That's fair. Ooh, I don't know about this. You're doing this versus the hyper armor. Oh, did it censor it because it thought a period was like a bad link or something? I gotta love Twitch. Good air throw. Oh wait, no, that was VVP. Sorry. Good jump. Oh yeah. Calling Dragon Bite full screen isn't gonna do much for us. The more you walk back, the more time and space you give the Eliza. So again, the way I see bands play it is they're trying to be menacing and just walk at you and control the space they don't want you to approach. Gotta figure out a route to a happy birthday with, because your hit confirm is cord, and this is similar to the Parasol situation. You're starting to struggle in getting happy birthday confirms, which can be really painful. Another thing I will say is, after talking enough with Yo-Yo about squiggly routing, is you want to be doing... So if you're going to be using Silver Cord, you want to be using it after your second string for routing. It's just a lot better for scaling and damage that way. And so using it as your first string hit confirm will cause issues as well. Outside of the usual happy birthday stuff. And if you're really unlucky, it'll hit the assist and not the point, because Uncharged Silver Cord does that, and then you actually get like insanely punished. Oh, good pillar. Oh, the tier, no! Pillar, no bikes, unfortunate. Raw tagged on. Again, you're choosing options that are like not awful reversal ideas, but you're doing it when the skeleton is still out, which makes them bad. Like if you had Fuku at level 3 or something like that, if you had a hit grab that also functioned as a reversal, that's like chef's kiss, but we're kind of just doing things and letting the Eliza take damage, and then she's just saying, I appreciate the free hit. We are going to snap. I do like seeing that a little bit. We are struggling for meter, and now we cannot... Oh, we're mixing. I would really want us to snap on the Eliza here. That's so much red health you'd get for 1 bar. Oh my... Block. But it's safe. And all of our resources are gone. Okay. Good block. I need to check the wiki. I can't remember if it's minus enough for you to actually just get the throw punish there. I want to say it isn't, because I feel like I've gone for that and gotten soiled. Good alpha counter. Oh no, we don't know. Yeah. Baby characters feels bad moment. Send it with the raw A-Train. Yeah, you're not comfortable with band enough to play the slow and patient sort of neutral, so I'm not harp on you committing to heavy rock, paper, scissors. That was meant to be an e-break. Yeah, either way, new character. Just getting used to it. I'm not gonna be super upset. Banda's a newer addition. Although we're probably getting really close to the set, aren't we? Yep, okay, that was the last game. So, let's... Actually, first, foremost, let me go to the wiki real quick. Make sure I kind of know what I'm talking about. Oh, okay, segment 5H is -10 on block. And unless I'm... How fast are throws in this game? Wait, I can just check. It'll be right next to universal mechanics, right? Where is it? 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 Throw 7 frames. Yeah, okay. Throws are 7 frames. You can punish the skeleton 5H. It's not a risk. Oh, you're talking about the frame trap. So we talked about this a little bit with Crutcher earlier. The one thing I will say, respecting a frame trap, 100% reasonable. 100% reasonable. I will put it out there as a suggestion that I don't think you should respect it until they show they're willing to do it. And that's just kind of how sets work. Granted, that was one of the first times you'd been put in that situation to actually guess there. It's... Yeah, and that definitely ends up being a opinion playstyle sort of deal. I would personally suggest just going for it until they show you otherwise. But there are many different ways to look at it. But so outside of that, if I want to think big picture, I want to give you neutral advice, especially for Parasol, but I don't know how to put into words how I'd change from what you're doing to what I'm doing. I don't have a good way to I don't have a good thought process of where we differed enough to the point where it caused differences in neutral. The things I will say are, you are calling some assists a little too far away, so you're calling D&B close to full screen. It's almost never going to do anything there. It's just asking to get counter called, get hit, kind of just vibe, and put your assist on cooldown for no reason. So thinking about your assist calls a little more. The big thing I wanted to see more from this set, and granted I prefaced just the first game with I have played BBP a fair bit and kind of know what he likes to do, but if this is your first time running into him, I would have really liked to see throughout the course of the set an adjustment to expect him to be ignorant. So an adjustment to expect him to just keep pressing even though he's not safe. Towards the end we saw some really good pillars. Unfortunately we didn't get conversions off of them afterwards, but I would have liked to see that a little bit faster, recognizing, wait, this guy doesn't actually know what he's doing, just press on him. The flip side of that was he was just mashing, actually churning a butter stick on defense, and I don't remember a single time I saw you burst bait. And not only was it I didn't ever see you... Yeah, okay. So you kind of already get that. There's the adaptations for burst bait, but on the other side of that, even if you're not going to go for a burst bait, think about the mixes you're going for when you're playing versus a player like that. So, like the parasol jab, high low with 6 media punch, 4 heavy kick, it's a great mix. But if someone's just like churning butter irrespective of the whatever's going on, unless you have the route set up so you're spaced where the jab can also end up being a burst bait, you're just gonna explode because it's a mashable mix. It's a completely mashable mix, and there's no way for you to keep yourself safe unless you just do jab into pillar to catch them, and that's like a massive call out. So thinking about the mixes you're doing so you can make sure you're focusing on the ones where they're afraid you will end up burst baiting them, so they actually think about whether they're turning or not, instead of just like turning the stick because they're getting comboed and you're just giving them a free opportunity to make that work. Exactly what Rennie said. That's the more you burst them, the more you discourage that behavior, and then the more you discourage them disrespecting your mix, the more disrespectful you're allowed to be. It's kind of been a theme of the night, but it's like the way I look at and think about the game on defense and offense is I need to be doing enough to the point where I feel like I know what you're going to be doing and I can kind of control how you're behaving. Because once I can figure out and control how you're behaving, I am allowed to be more disrespectful because I know what options I could go for. Yada yada yada. That sort of soapbox speech. So there's that, and then one other thing versus players like these especially, and this also works versus players who might not necessarily be falling for burst baits but are still really quick on the reactions. Empty hops are so good in this game, especially as Parasol, because Parasol, Parasols land on people with buttons. I land on people with buttons all the time. But what makes that so much more like terrifying to deal with is the times where you just don't press a button. So it's like you catch them trying to... I do this a lot versus ban specifically, because I'm like, up forward, jump light punch, up forward, jump light punch, and then all of a sudden I just don't do it, and you see them like go to parry, or you catch their beat extend with an empty hop, and you're just like, I got you. And they're just sitting there, they're sitting there fuming, because they just got baited by an empty hop. And a lot of BBP's options outside of mashing into cat heads are not safe on block. So it's like once you get them to extend that far, you're getting a counter hit. And that's just another option that can make them think they see something that they can react to and mash. Whereas it's literally just you're blocking. You're sitting here saying, I'm gonna let you overextend into me and then punish you for it. I love empty hopping so much. It's catching. I definitely my like trinity of landing on people. It's land on people with button, empty hop, or land with an air throw, because so many people in Skullgirls like to chicken block, and it's a really good habit. But if they can't tech the air throw afterwards, you oftentimes get a hit from them trying to chicken block. The one time you need to be really careful about landing on people with air throw is if you see they more consistently anti-air you than chicken block you. Then you just explode. But the main things for that set for me were the adaptation and the like mashing on your end, as well as dealing with his mashing. I would like to... I don't know how to... I don't have any pinpoint points that were like, this is how this would like really help your neutral here. I wasn't quite seeing any like eureka moment where I'm like, I can really help you. It just seemed like you were kind of getting a little outplayed in neutral, and I'm sorry I can't fully help with that. I want to be able to say more. I just, for some reason, can't think of anything off the top of my head after watching the games. If you have any specific questions, or if you want me to rewatch specific games, etc., and be like, I think this neutral option will work, or can you look at this again and see if you can think about anything for neutral, please let me know. I'll I'll look at it again. I'll take a revisit. But as of right now, I think that's all I have to say from what I have seen. Okay, actually, before I move on, I will address the questions you put in the. I realize I haven't gotten through all of them. Talked about the DP assist, kind of just needing to respect it a little more. You can also, in regards to DP assist specifically, you can just throw. I'll get us off this. So, one of the ways to deal with the DP assist is one, recognize it's coming so you don't overextend into it. There were a couple of times where you saw the double come in and said, I'm gonna press a button landing on this fool, and then double just slapped you out of the sky saying, you're the fool. And then, like, blocking it, double's really annoying, L-bomber's really annoying, and the fact that it's multi-hit, so you don't actually chicken block it. Other than that, I mentioned I would like to see you ground throw a little bit more. BVP was down backing a lot and calling an assist, and he was also doing it behind Butchers. He was like, Butchers is coming, I'm gonna wait for you to block before I do anything. While they're waiting, they're down backing in front of you. You can throw, especially because you're Parasol, you also get back throw on the bike guy, which is... It's free corner carry, it's nuts, it's so good. Yada yada yada. That's the ways to deal with DPs. For personally how I play versus Valentine, it's a combination of being far enough away where M-Shot is like an obnoxious threat, and I try and save M-Shot for when I see them pressing buttons. Or not pressing buttons, when I see them jumping. When I know they're going into the space where they really like to hover, to like get their crosses off, etc. That's when I'm starting to go for M-Shot, trying to make it really annoying to be in her favorite space. And then dash dancing to one, mess with where she thinks she's throwing her crosses so you can get off of them. Using M-Egret to buy yourself a little bit of time, especially if they have a projectile assist, which isn't necessarily the case for BBP, but that's another thing. And then as well as threatening to get in the range where dash jump jump light kick is a thing, dash jump air throw is a thing. You do need to worry about them falling on you with jump heavy kick because you can lose those air to airs. Jump heavy kick is an absurd button for Valentine. But like Rennie said, it's a fair amount of patience, but being able to flip the switch to violence is also pretty nice. It's definitely a matchup where both sides can opt for very large, like, a large variety of playstyles. You can go from pretty aggressive on the spectrum to pretty patient. I would argue mid-rangey patient is probably a little bit in both of theirs favors. It's a matchup where approaching is really obnoxious for either of them. And in regards to contest, like, yeah, dealing with Val in the airspace, I try and leave to making tiers force them to be predictable, and then going from there. So kind of having an M-toss in an area where if you think they're approaching you, they have to respect it. Have an H-toss where they're going to be landing, so you know they want to be jumping immediately, which then lets you M-shot because you know they're jumping away from the tier, which... That sort of stuff. The usual kind of force them to go where you want them to do zoner kind of stuff. Other than that, she doesn't have good... Well, she has... And BBP will mash EKG super. But getting on her and forcing her to block and assist is terrifying for Valentine. Other than that, the major thing in that matchup, especially versus BBP, is knowing when and where he's very likely to bypass and try and get on you, and making sure you're keeping yourself safe, possibly up-backing and blocking the bypass so you force him to scalpels or you just get a punish. That sort of deal. It's thinking about the options they're commonly taking and then choosing the best ways to exploit them. That's sort of the dealio. I hope that answers this questions a little better than what my recap had. Yeah, it's an obnoxious matchup, and I think both sides honestly kind of just like it's weird.
It's
They both do things each other hate pretty well.